Hey everyone, this is your girl Catrice, and welcome to Cocktail Hour with Catrice. I'm so excited that you all decided to join me for today's live, to click on this video, and to support your girl, okay? So let's get a few of the church announcements out the way so we can get started. Number one, go over there and check out our Patreon. That is our exclusive community where I give you all breaking news, behind the scenes information, my personal thoughts on some things that I can't say out here, some pictures of people's pictures that I can't post here on YouTube, and some other information, okay? I also give you all a word if I get it, so I don't like to do that much, but it comes through, so I go ahead and give it to you over there in Patreon, okay? Number two, you all should have gotten a text message, okay, from me to you when I'm going live. So if you have not gotten a text message, that means you're not a part of the community. So go over there and text the word cocktails to 833-495-4371. It's 833-495-4371. Also, the third thing, honey, make sure that you all support this channel, okay? And a little bit will help, all right? Because we're trying to build something really positive over here. So check the link down below for my Cashapp. You can send it through PayPal, okay? Just go ahead and support your girl so that we can keep this show up and running. And last but not least, I'm a self-published author of a book, well, several actually, but the main one that deals with this channel is called Triumph Over Adversity, Overcome Your Church Hurt. It shares with you all my personal journey of what God allowed to happen to me, how I ended up leaving the church, and then some of the stuff that he gave to me back then is actually happening right now. So you want to make sure that you check out that book. If you've ever dealt with church hurt, I give you all some tips on how to cope and to deal. I might have to rewrite it, but I don't know, child. This is a lot of work to write a book. I'm doing other stuff. Anyway, I cannot wait to see you all for today's show. Share me with your friends, your family, and your aunties. Okay, the aunties love cocktails. They love me. Share me with them so that they can get this good tea too. I'll see you soon. Bye. Good morning, afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you all. Happy Tuesday, okay? It is another Tuesday. This is my second stream of the day. Also, okay, after my first stream today, I uploaded an episode of my podcast, okay? So we are officially on Spotify. That's Cocktail Hour with Catrice on Spotify, okay? So you all go over there, check it out, let me know what you think. And we put up a special episode today about Bishop Carlton Pearson. And a lot of you all know what's going on right now, because if you're on the stream or you're watching the replay, you are fully aware that on the 19th of November, let's read the post. And again, welcome to each and every one of you all. Check us out on Spotify for our podcast, all right? Happy Tuesday. I will not be on here long. I don't plan on it. All right? A lot of people don't want to come on tonight. I guess they don't want to talk about Bishop Pearson. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you all. I'm going to start out by doing this since people are not, they're slow but coming in. I'm going to go ahead and give you all my my controversial thoughts of the day and tell you what's been going on behind the scenes. So, I have a video too. I woke up yesterday to a message from one of my street committee members, okay? And I'm going to show you that first. But I woke up to a message from them saying, you need to brace yourself when you read this post. And I said, well, what she said, just listen, did you see it? I said, no. She said, well, you need to read the post. And so let me actually play a video for you all. This is my honest reaction from yesterday, okay? When I got the message, I immediately sat down at my computer. I said, obviously, this is something that's pretty serious because she told me to brace myself. So with that being said, here is my authentic reaction finding out about Bishop Pearson yesterday. Hello and good morning. Today is Monday, November the 20th, 2023. It is a little bit before 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I woke up, my personal phone is not working properly. So with that being said, I have to run to T-Mobile shortly to see if what they're gonna do for the girl. I do have a backup phone, so my street committee member, one of many, shout out to my street committee, sent me a message, and she said, "I don't know if you've seen this yet, but please brace yourself, as it is not something that is light." So I decided to hit record so that I can give you my honest reaction as to what in the world this is. All right. Sorry, description. Okay. So let's click this. Okay. It says Now I see why she told me to brace myself. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Well, I need a minute. Y'all hold on for a second. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. Okay, let me just read it out loud. I'm gonna just read the first part of this. And yeah, we'll probably go live about this at some point in time. I don't know about today, maybe tomorrow, but I might need to go live today. It says November the 19th, 2023. This post is from Facebook, from the former wife of Bishop Carlton Pearson. I like to call the women of God Lady Gina, I believe her last name is pronounced Gauthier. It says November 19, 2023, Bishop Carlton Demetrius Pearson, one of the most popular and influential preachers in America and around the world, who sacrificed everything for a message of unconditional love and acceptance by God, died peacefully the night of November 19, 2023, at the age of 70, after a brief battle with cancer that had returned after first defeating it 20 years ago. He was surrounded by family. And it goes on to talk about his accomplishments, his own ministry, Higher Dimensions, television, Azusa, beginning in 1988. Yeah. So, it is official. I did not get this last night. I didn't get it. It is official that Bishop Carlton Pearson, iconic bishop, influential, sometimes controversial in his message about inclusion, has passed away at the age of 70 from cancer. Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If you all watch my commentary, you all know I personally had hope. You know, I'm one of those people that I like to wait until God says it's time, or I like to wait. I don't like to hear. I don't like to necessarily believe the doctor's report. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm very rarely speechless. I think we all knew that it would come down to this. I was personally hoping that it would not be so soon. I don't really know Bishop Pearson the way that a lot of you all, you know, my street committee, senior saints, those of you all who were in ministry that are in ministry or that was in the ministry or have been in the ministry for a number of years. I don't know him the way that you all do. What I do know of Bishop Pearson is that he just wanted to spread love
That's really what I know of Bishop Pearson, and he was very inclusive of people from different walks of life and backgrounds. In particular, he was a champion for the LGBT community, and just making people feel loved. And yeah, I can rock with that with him. I just didn't know he was going to pass away like that. So anyway, Bishop Pearson has died at the age of 70. We're going to keep his family, his two beautiful children, and his former wife, alongside of his co-laborers in the ministry, those he has walked with for a number of years, traveled with, sang with, ministered with, preached with, cried with, to the people that actually knew him as a mentor and as a spiritual father, as a iconic figure in the body of Christ. I send my condolences to you all. I'm so sorry that this has happened. I'm not okay right now. I thought that because I don't know him like that it would be easier to talk about something like this, but maybe it's the trigger with cancer. But anyway, I wish you all the best, and yeah, pray for his family, friends, and former Congregants Church family, etc. I will see you all soon, okay? Bye.
Okay, we have Kyrie in the book. Hey, Kyrie. Hey, D. Jones. What's going on? Happy Tuesday. All right, y'all. That was my authentic reaction yesterday morning to finding out about Bishop Pearson's transition. I actually had to go to the gym after getting another phone yesterday morning because I needed to walk it all process. So I can only imagine the people who have labored with him, cried out with him, fasted and prayed with him, labored in the Lord, okay? Even with the transition to his gospel of inclusion, okay? That I'm praying for them because I know that they are probably taking this extremely, extremely rough. But I will say this, and of course, my condolences to the to Lady Gina Gauthier and the Pearson children. All right, my thoughts, and my prayers are with you all. All right, it's a big thing, and my mom passed away of cancer 9 years ago. For me, it's always going to probably be a trigger. So I know how watching them slowly to decline can really do some things to you. But my heart, my thoughts, my prayers are definitely with the family. Now, I Googled the bishop. Who is this now? I'm just getting up. So I Googled the bishop before coming online. Actually, shout out to those who came on. We did a pre-show when I was online being nosy. We were Googling people, the Christian Post child, okay? Which, they always in some scandal. But listen, so when I Googled Bishop Pearson, he actually has a website. And I love his tagline. It says, Carlton D. Pearson, progressive spiritual teacher, thought leader, sacred activist, humanist, and peace agent. And this is going to go to my next point. I promise you I do not want to be on here long tonight. Hey, Alice, how you doing? Wow, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss, Kyrie. I did not know that. See, you just never know, man. We need to develop a whole network of people, because for those people who have lost those to cancer, cancer is a hard thing to get over. To watch your loved one, literally just sometimes they go from having so much life to just very weak and very frail, And with my mom, I was just. I try to keep a brave face in front of her a lot, but it didn't always work out that way. But my thoughts and prayers are definitely with, I believe, the names are Majesty and Julian, okay, Pearson and Lady Gina. Which brings me to my next point. Now, y'all know I can't come over here. I got to give people their flowers. And listen, I didn't know Bishop, like I said in the video, I did not know Bishop Pearson like a lot of people know Bishop Pearson. And I think that because I did not know him like that. And I'm pretty much new on the scene. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about what's going on with your mom, Rika. Wow, D. Jones said over 35 years. Woo! God bless your heart. See what I'm saying? You just never know, man. You just never, ever know. I am so sorry to hear about all that. See, but it brings us together, right? And Bishop Pearson's life is bringing people together. Listen, unbeknownst to the people that want to bring destruction. So let me give you all, for the people that did not come on to the earlier stream, let me tell you what's been going on. And unfortunately, I'm going to try my best to not get canceled tonight. Okay. In particular, by the Senior Saint Ministry. Okay. Not the Senior Women's Ministry. It's both male and female. Okay. The Senior Saints, I don't know. I don't know what I do know. I'm not going to say I don't know. I fully understand why these people are a little triggered. Some people are just they were maybe authentically concerned about Bishop Pearson and his theology. Some people were maybe not the most pleasant to the bishop about his theology, and they acted out that way. Some people maybe wish that they could have spoken up during that time period about Bishop Pearson. There's probably an array of different emotions that are going on within the circle in the body of Christ. Yesterday, it's so funny because I've been covering this for the last 2 weeks. I know I did 2 streams last week about Bishop, and so maybe 2 weeks though, because I did a stream before that too. And apparently, some of the saints did not like, from people in the back, they did not necessarily like my commentary in regards to Bishop Pearson and this whole love thing. I think love might be a trigger for some people. I don't know why. Maybe a lack thereof in their lives, or lack thereof, growing up. I don't know what it is, but it's triggering some people in a very negative way. And so yesterday, after receiving the initial news from my Loyal Street committee, shout out to you, I received a few DMs and a few phone calls. A few phone calls. And now let me just preface this. I am 42 years old at the time where Bishop Pearson's ministry, Azusa, was actually getting up and running and doing this thing. It was probably 88. I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. So for me, I am very removed from this whole situation. However, the senior saints, the ones that were probably present during the time or around, they probably brought the cassettes, they probably brought the VHSs, they might even put it on 8-track. Huh? They probably went out and they bought the Azusa music list or album on the 8-track. I don't know how you did it, okay? I just know I was a child. And I'm glad that, and I say this all the time, I'm so glad that God kept me away from so many different situations, because I can speak freely. So apparently some of the senior saints were not happy with some of my commentary about love. And again, it might be because there might be a lack thereof. And so, surprisingly enough, and if you all messaged me yesterday, please do not message me individually. It's not a one-size-fits-all. I'm just letting the people know exactly, how things happened yesterday behind the scenes. I received several messages telling me, in particular, and reiterating to me that Bishop Carlton Pearson was a heretic. On the day, and it's almost like it was a senior saint day, okay? And I just need to let you know how I feel about this, because you need to know. You need to know. And so I received a few messages. So like I said, a lot early in the day my inbox was flooded. See, I told you he was this, and I said, what is wrong with y'all? Like, why y'all coming in my inbox talking about this? You could have said that on when I was on YouTube or Facebook or when I do my lives on Instagram. But they chose not to. They chose to wait until the day that Bishop Pearson, it was announced that he had transitioned, for them to reiterate to me that he was an alleged heretic. Here's what I have to say about that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Like, the sun does not rise and set to Bishop Pearson. And this is what the people called him. This is not what I don't know what God called them. Right? I don't know what God called him. So I can't say. And I don't like labels. I don't like when people call, witches and war. I hate that. I hate it. I can't stand it. I can't stand the name calling. So I personally don't care if Bishop was a heretic. Look, at one point, it was midday, and someone had called me, and they said to me, I just wanted to remind you of this, of what he did and his theology. And you need to know, listen, you need to know that this man was not a mind of God. And I let the people talk. They're just talking. And I said, okay. And I think they were shocked because I did not respond. Like, I refused to feed into the narrative. I refused to, from where I'm sitting, to put my mouth on anybody like that. Now you're gonna say, well, Cocktails, you come on the line and you talk about these pastors and these bishops when they shucking and jiving, dipping and diving and doing. I sure do. I sure do. I think the problem that I'm having with this Bishop Carlton Pearson situation is, for once, we have an example, and y'all don't beat me up, of a person. We're gonna minus the inclusion part. Let's just take away the gospel of inclusion just for this conversation. Let's just take it away. For once, we have someone that says, I just want folks to be loved. I just want this person to feel this way or to feel that way. I just want people to feel embraced and cared for. And because of that, it's like, I can't just say that was cool. It gave off, and I hate to say this, and y'all please don't be offended. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But the amount of people that messaged me, after a while, I just said, Lord, it's giving ignorance at this point. Not one person under the age of 55 was in my inbox. Everybody was over the age of 55. Letting me know that this man was a heretic. What does that amount to anything now? What is it? Why? Like, so what? If you called him a heretic, fine. How does that make you feel? Because I promise you all, and I struggle with coming live to talk about this. I struggled because I said I don't want any of my loyal subscribers to feel offended. But there comes a time when I felt offended, and I said, you all wait until the day that it's announced that the man of God is gone, to not say, may he rest in peace. May he, listen, it's in God's hands now. You all thought it not robbery to message Cocktail. And I'm quite sure the other content creators got it too. I'm sure of that. I'm so sure of that. Because my inbox, I had at least about 5 messages and 2 phone calls. And one person said, I just have to let you know this, and I want to let you know this, and they went down the timeline of things. And I'm just sat there listening like, today's not the day for this. It's not. Today is not the day. Why don't we spew your point of view next week. Come online. You can come up here and you can say what you want. I'm serious. But us calling him, especially at this point in time, to try to and here's the thing, because I'm in this bubble, right, where I was not around during that time. I did not know anything about, the whole gospel of inclusion explosion, that now I had to be educated by the seniors, not before he passed, but the day that it was announced that he was gone. I thought it was weird. I'm sorry. It was giving weird to me yesterday, and I think by the end of the night I was just spent, so much so that I could not sleep until about 4 o'clock this morning, because I said to myself, how is it that we always talk about this? We want people to get saved by this loving, caring God, but yet we don't always share the same love and care that we say that God shows us. How is that? That you have to get on the phone or pull out your cell phone and start typing such harsh words. And what is it going to change now that he's deceased? What is it going to do? If you think he's a heretic, fine. So once you say that to me, how do you feel about what you just said? How is that edifying anything? I think by the end of the night, I just had it. I had gotten, hey, Yobi, how you doing, baby? I had just received so many negative messages, and it almost took me back. And y'all hear me when I say this, and I'm not trying to be offensive. When I remember being a little girl in church and not wanting to go back because my grandmother's best friend, who is still living by the way, she was so mean to the children that the children just ran away. Didn't want to be bothered with the church. And I said, and here's part of the problem that I have, is that we say that we love God, and we say that we love God's people. And the last person I talked to, they made a great point. I will give them this. Oh my God, they made a great point. They said, although they did call him a heretic, they said, I wish that he was handled differently by the Joint College of Bishops. They should have taken that opportunity to restore or to strengthen. Here's what I have to say about that. Number one, I agree with that. They should have definitely restored. They should have definitely taken time out to, in that moment, to show God's love, to show God's agape, unconditional love, right? Because that's what we tell people all the time, that God has this everlasting, unconditional love for you. This agape love, the love that conquers all. He just loves you. We always tell people that. But in the same breath, we will then turn God into this hateful individual that hates all sin, and they will strike you dead if you're not careful. And I believe in the research that I've done about Bishop Pearson. Y'all call me whatever you want, I don't care. Let me just say that. But I believe from what he was trying to share through his gospel, although the hell part is a very touchy subject, and I think that the hell conversation deserves more attention, because if we're looking at hell, we have to look at it from every angle, and that includes all religion, including Judaism, which is the chosen people of God, right? If we're really going to get technical, we got to look at it from all different aspects of the word and of the sense. But I think that what he was trying to share was just the agape. I'm trying not to get choked up. Jesus. Ooh. I think what he was trying to show was the agape love of God. I think he was trying to show the people that beyond a shadow of the doubt, beyond your wildest dreams, beyond your wildest imagination, regardless of where you are right now, today, present day and time, that he loves you, period. It just so happens that he added on another part to the equation that rocked the entire body of Christ, and that caused people to take pause. Because if you take away the hell that God damns people to, then you take away the ability to control. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from it. Because I thought about this long and hard. Thought about it long and hard. And I said, you can't control people if you take away the very thing that's going to scare them into righteousness, but in doing what you need to do for the church. Now, I'm not going to, I don't want to, because again, I think we need to have there needs to be a deeper conversation of hell. It needs to be a deeper dive into the entire hell concept. The whole hell conversation it is a convoluted conversation, because when I went to Google it today, it was this, I mean, the Wikipedia article was this long, because it goes through each religion, each Buddhism, Islam, Judaism, Christianity. Gives you all the different religions and what they believe when it pertains to hell. As it pertains to hell, it takes things and puts them into different perspectives, even down to Catholicism. Okay, all right. Let me make sure I'm looking at my notes real quick. Even down to Catholicism, it gives you a deeper conversation and breakdown for the hell conversation. It does. And so I think that needs further review. That is to the senior saints. That is to everybody that's watching that has ever said, just go back and let's just do a deep dive. All right, let's do that. Yes, it's a larger conversation. It is not a one size fits all. Okay, let y'all know that now. Some Catholicism believes in purgatory, and it's just so many different levels, right? And so that's that for that at the moment. But I think that what he was trying to get across is love. And what I realized yesterday was that although a person can be, or persons, because they were all 55 and over, persons could be one age. They could be 60, 57, 62. That doesn't mean that it qualifies people to, judgment. I think that's what bothered me. And I'm going to get backlash for that. I'm sorry. I'm going to get backlash for it. But because they're going to say God tells us to judge, go ahead and judge. When it comes down to the situation, to the nitty-gritty, whoever chooses, we all have a choice. It is your choice to serve God or to serve mammon. And then what the Bible says. It is your choice to accept Christ or to walk away. It is and be excommunicated. I've been excommunicated. I'm one of those. And I think that's when I was doing the podcast before coming back live. That's what really kind of stuck with me, is that I believe that he gave people a level of hope that folks were not prepared for. Oh, you're same gender loving, but you have hope. Oh, you believe in this. Okay, but you still have hope. I think that he gave people the hope that Christ told us to give, but he just removed a portion, not the entire thing. Because I went back and I listened to the Joint College of Bishops debate. Okay, so you can't tell me. I listened to it. But I think that he gave the people hope. And what I saw in the tribute that I watched last week was people from all different walks of life, all different ages, all different colors, cultures, and creed, all coming together to record a video and to share their experience about a man that poured out his heart and his soul to them. And I think that if we remove, if we, I think when you remove the hell component is when we started to see people's true colors. What do you mean that there's no hell? We need hell. And guess what? I believe in hell. I do. I firmly believe in it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I do. But for some people, without hell, you can't control folk. Hell means that you have to do, you have to stay in a certain place, you have to do a certain thing, you have to build what you can be. And before we came live today, thank you God, we were and I'm going to show you the video in a second. We were talking about imposter syndrome, and there's a clip I'm going to play for you all in a second. And the young lady at one point says that she was that she had a fear of succeeding because in one breath she was raised in the church, reared in the church, and she said that she had been singing about what did she say? She had been singing about something for 30 years. Oh, that she was worthless for 30 years. And it came from her walking the church. But where does that stem from? Whenever I go to a funeral, the only thing that I'm anticipating, honestly, besides seeing the body, is that the bishop is going to, or the pastor is going to get up there and they're going to tell me that if I don't get it right, then I'm going to hell. That's it. That is what I can deduce from that. Every funeral, I went all the way to Calvert County. My cousin passed away last December. And I drove 2 hours for the pastor to tell me that if I don't get it right, I'm going to hell. You could bet your bottom dollar on one or two things. You're going to go to a funeral and you're going to hear about hell. That's it. Because that's what allows the church to stay open. And that is the truth. Now, is hell real from my standpoint? Yes. But do people weaponize hell for their own personal gain? Absolutely. Yep, they do. They weaponize it. They use it. They tell you that if you don't do this, you're going to hell. If you don't do that, you're going to hell. And it's like, okay, well, now I have my own decision to make. And the funny thing is I got a little pissed yesterday. This is a rant video today. I got a little pissed because I said, it's so funny that folks come out the woodwork when the man of God has passed away to call him a heretic. But yet and still, the last time I checked, we're not God. We're not God, y'all. We're not. We get into the church, and I was there. I'm going to talk about it. I'm telling myself. At one point when I left, I was a mean girl. I'm telling the truth. But when you get into the body of Christ, it is a modern day elitist country club. Oh, you are high and mighty. Neck up, chest out, neck up. Okay, you are just walking around like this. Because you just know that you are now better because you have been grafted into this elite country club of Christianity. And then what we end up doing, regardless if we understand it or not, and I'm going to help you all because I love you and I don't want you all in my inbox anymore. What we do is we do this. He going to hell. She's doing that. Ain't no way she's going to make it in. She got pregnant out of wedlock. Look at her. Look at her. I can see her belly button all the way over here. She's going to hell. When we get into the body, it gives us license to judge. And I'm not talking about judging from the heresy point of view with Bishop Pearson. No, I'm talking about judging in general. We put our noses, and I've done it. I've done it. It's all on me. I have done it. It was not my best moment. I was a mean girl towards the end of my tenure in the ministry. I'm so glad I left. I'm so glad you couldn't pay me $1 million to go back tomorrow. You could not pay me to go back into the four walls of the church and to do full-time ministry again. No, no, that's not what this is about. Because it gives people license to put someone someplace that you have no authority to put them. And that is that's the elephant in the room. The Joint College of Bishops did what they did because they thought, because of their stature, and they have not to this moment, let me go back and check, they have not to this moment even acknowledged the transition of Bishop Pearson. They put the man of God someplace that they had no business, they had no authority. But because we get grafted into this elite club we call Christianity. If you have my book, I talk about that it's a social club. Get the book, Trifold Adversity. But we put people in places where we have absolutely positively no authority. If you don't want to listen to me, you don't want to subscribe, unsubscribe, and leave me alone. Bye. This is not for you. But you know it's the truth. When you go to your job and you leave the ministry and you go to church, you go to church on Sunday, by Tuesday you are in your cubicle. And little Jamie, that's 25 years old, walks in the door, and she's talking about her weekend, how she did all this and that. And you look down on her like this, and you go, "Well, you know that's not right. Jamie, you know that's not right." And you start to try to tell her what to do because you are in the elite club. This is now your elite platform. You are now high and mighty, and you get to look down on others, and the devil is a lie. I'm fair. Most importantly, I am going to be honest, whether people like it or not. I'm going to lose subscribers. I do not care. I do not. I do not care. I don't. YouTube is not paying me enough money to care. That's what we do. That's what we do. We get into our elite club. We walk around high and mighty, nose in the air, and we get to tell people how to live their lives. And then if they don't do it the way that we think they're supposed to do it, we say they're going to hell. We become, first of all, we become God in our own minds. And I don't think that people get it, that's what happens. Because when you can tell someone where they're going to go, then you're telling me that you are now God, which is not the truth. That's what you're telling me, that you are God and that you can tell me where I can and cannot go. And that, beloved, is not true. We are not God. We are brought here to love and to spread love in the gospel of Jesus. We are not here to condemn or to look down upon. And I think part of the issue is we become so accustomed to telling people where they're going to go that we forget that we still have to have that we too have to be held accountable. We too have to go before the Father. We too have to have our name written in the Lamb's Book of Life. Huh? Did we forget that part? Chad, what you say? Did we forget? But because we become the judge, that's the truth. Because let me tell y'all something, and this is to everybody that messaged me yesterday and called me yesterday. I was so disappointed in the messages that I got. Hey, Lynn, how you doing, baby? I was so disappointed in the messages that I got. So they had to remind me. They had to tell me that he was a heretic. I didn't need to know. They wanted to convince me. They wanted to make sure that I knew. I want to make sure that you understand, cocktails, that this man, he was in fact. And I looked at my phone, both when I was on the text and on the line. And I said, you're telling me this for what? The one time that I say something that people do not agree with, then they have to make sure that I know. Well, let me make sure that you all understand this. This is to everybody. I don't care. The part of the message that I loved the most of what Bishop Carlton was spreading was about love. That's it. That was it for me. I didn't need to know nothing else. I had no need for any other part of the message. I could read. I researched very well. The people came on today. They watched me research for today's stream. I have a whole bookcase full of books, theological books, books on psychology, personality. I have DSM-5. I do not need for people to reiterate to me that the bishop was a heretic. I didn't need it. It was a conversation that was not warranted. As a matter of fact, it made me look at folks different. Because I said, why was that necessary? Why was that necessary, beloved? I was very disappointed. 5 people. 5. And I was really shocked the first message I got. I said, hold on, what? I said, okay, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Another message came through. Cocktails, you heard about Bishop? Yeah, I heard about it. Oh, so and so and so and so. But you know he was I said, oh, is this gonna be the theme of the day? Then I get a call, midday. Cocktails, girl. I said, what's going on? And the conversation starts real slow. Next thing you know, but you know he was a heretic. I thought to myself, am I in the twilight zone today? Am I in the twilight zone? But the people have to tell me what is public knowledge in various articles. And if you're in my Patreon, you all know when I post in Patreon, I give, and mind you, something like this, I posted about this 2 weeks ago. I give you video links. I give you articles for reference. I give you everything that you need to go back and to do your own personal research. That's what I do. Video reference, articles, you name it. I put it in my Patreon. Here, you get the paragraph here, and at the bottom here is for your reference. So I'm quite clear. Hey, Roll Jukebox. I'm quite clear that of what the people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and those people around the world, and the Joint College of Bishops said about the bishop. And it made me say to myself, now this is a reminder for me as to why I don't go to church. This is a reminder for me why I sit in my house and have bedside Baptists. And this is a reminder for the people. I need you all to be crystal clear about this. The Bible says, he that wins souls is wise. Where is your wisdom? Because if you can message me about something like this, I want to see how many souls you save in a week. Put it on the spreadsheet and send that to me. That impresses me. Oh, girl, I saved 25 souls this week, girl. Come on here. Come on, 25 souls. Oh, I saved this many people. Oh my God. You know, look at what God doing through you. It really made me upset because I said, y'all starting to act like the men of God when we're talking about the LGBTQ plus community. Because that's when the men come out. The men come out when we start talking about the gays. Yeah, I've noticed a pattern. I can talk about Corjax and Michelle and Brandon. They say nothing. I could talk about Bishop Noel Jones and his wife, and they say nothing. The second I start talking about the LGBTQ plus community, you know that the very minute I say something about the LGBT community, here comes the man and go, I can tell you. And so for the women guy, it's Bishop Pearson. Y'all, child, they showed me yesterday, honey. They showed me yesterday that Bishop Pearson, this is a trigger word for them. He was a heretic. You have to tell me. One lady said, I just want to make sure that you understand. And I said, oh, okay. All right. Got it. Noted. Yep. I got off the line. Whew. Got off the line. And it just didn't sit right with me. It didn't. It didn't sit right. I sat there for a minute. I said, Lord, what in the world? Honestly. I said, what in the world? I did. I'm going to tell you the truth. I said, what in the world? Then a couple of people, they tell me offline all the time. They could tell I was raised by a lot of older people. I've never had a lot. I haven't had a lot of friends my age. One of my friends is turning 70 this week. That goes to show you my circle. So I've been around a lot of older people all my life. I was sheltered as a child around the senior saints. Hence why I am the president of the Senior Women's Ministry. The senior women are under my tutelage. Let me stop. But listen. And so they said, they've said to me in great detail how wise they think I am. So if you think that I'm so wise, don't y'all know that I can research for myself? 5 people. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing, baby? 5 people. 5 had to tell me about myself yesterday. Instead of someone saying, oh my God, Catrice, I'm praying for the family. I'm praying for his children. I'm praying for the congregants who was under his tutelage. I'm praying for those who are left that are still talking about the gospel of inclusion, that they come into the full knowledge of God. They could have said anything else. They could have called me or messaged me and told me anything else. But they had to take time out of their day to make sure that I knew. Because what happens is I play dumb real well. I play stupid sometimes. So some people think that they can run me. Some people think because I'm so nice that they can run over me. No. No. Can't. I have a mind of my own. And most importantly, what I do is I don't just hop online aimlessly and just spew whatever. I take time out and I think about it. I ponder, I meditate. I think, I research. I do my due diligence. And it's just so funny to me and interesting that folks think that because I'm young, right? They call me wise, but yet I'm like, you do realize that I'm no dummy. Now I might play stupid, but I'm not dumb. Okay. So anyway, the gospel of inclusion or conclude, whatever. I don't really care about it. Okay. What do I care about? I care about the souls. We talk about that all the time. Maybe it's the evangelism in me, that we should be really about our Father's business. Y'all know I was demonetized over the summer, and I still showed up like I was getting paid $10,000 a stream. I showed up. I just wanted to come on and say what I needed to say, what I felt my spirit to say, and I got off the line. That's what I wanted to do, just to try to make an impact. We were talking earlier about I was telling the people about the story about my mom when she would fall ill. She was in the hospital several times. It wasn't just about the cancer. She had a hysterectomy. She had a hernia surgery. She had 2 surgeries dealing with breast cancer. It was one other one. And she said to me, she used to say all the time that she knew that she was not doing what God wanted her to do because she would always end up in the hospital. She said, I am fully aware that I am being disobedient and I'm not doing the will of God. Because every time I try to go about my business, I end up right back in here, in this bed. My mother died as a prophet. She died with regret. And I vowed to myself that I would always stay true to myself. This is highly controversial. People are going to unsubscribe. I'm probably going to get some hate messages tomorrow. That's fine. Just leave it at the door. Spell my name right, y'all. Please don't call me Cocktails with Catrice. It is Cocktail Hour with Catrice. Okay? We're gonna dead that too. 2024, we're gonna get it right. Cocktail Hour with Catrice. It is not Cocktails with Catrice. So we're clear. But she would say to me all the time, I know that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do because I continue to end up here. And I say it to all of you all that the reason why I do what I do here on YouTube is because I made a conscious decision that I did not want to die with regret like my mother. Now, unlike a lot of people, I've always, whether the people like it or not, I've always spoken my mind, and I've always tried to do it in love. And sometimes I have a high threshold for foolishness. But I think last night is really what was the straw that broke the camel's back. Because I said, why is it that people feel so comfortable coming to me, saying this stuff, and they can't even tell me that they're praying for the family? A man just died. When my pastor, who's the prophet, he passed away. The day I buried my mom, he went home and he passed away, March 18, 2014. And I remember he and I were not on the best of terms. But I recall thinking to myself, he did what God wanted him to do. And I was proud about that, having him as my pastor. He was loyal to the cause. He was serious about the prophetic, serious about men. He was serious about God. And he was always that type of person who understood, although it might be different, the message, just to listen to the message and listen to the heart. And I'm not telling people to go to the gospel of inclusion. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying that. Ain't none of my business what you do. It is your life. One of my subscribers said it best up here. They said, work out your own soul salvation. And the Bible says with fear and trembling. Let me see. Lynn said, the word says we have to work out our own soul salvation. And the Bible says with fear and trembling. It is not up to me what you decide to do with your life. It is my job, and this is to the senior saints, It is your job to just show the love of Christ. And when they see that, they're going to say, wow, I want to be like that. That's all it is. The thing that attracted me to my, and ministry wise, to my former co-pastor, was that she unconditionally loved God. And she studied to show herself approved. And she did not just read it and put it down, but she devoured the word. And she showed me, wow, that's what you do. If you really want to understand God, if you really want to give to give people a sound word, to teach them properly, you dig and you go through the word and you devour the meat and the potatoes of it. I want to be like that. That's what made me say, this is the God I want to serve, because she wants to know so much about God that she's willing to put down her plate several times a week and just eat the word all the time. And this is a woman that don't even like me no more. I'm still honoring her, giving her props. Does not even talk to me. But I can be honest and say that she showed me what a woman of God was. Can they say the same about you? Or are you all having conversations today about how much of a heretic Carlton Pearson was? I was so disappointed. On the day we should be giving a tribute, y'all online talking about he's a heretic. So what does that do for you? I'm praying for you. Listen, and I appreciate the people looking out for the girl. I do. God bless you. Thank y'all for looking out for me. But I don't need people to reiterate nothing to me no more. Because I'm gonna tell you, it did more damage, it did more harm than it did good yesterday. It did way more harm. Yep, it did way more harm for me. So, Deborah, that's it. That's why you don't go to church no more. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's what I said to myself. That's why you don't go. Because you got to deal with whenever you don't agree with something, then you got to come up and you got to make sure that you let me know. Okay. I'm gonna get hated for this. I'm probably gonna get some hate mail. Again, make sure that you all spell it right. Cocktail Hour with Catrice. Let me share this with you all really quickly, and then I'm going to get off the line. This is a breakdown of the imposter syndrome.
All right, so I have a theory. My therapist mentioned to me, well, she brought it to my attention that I have imposter syndrome, right? And I started thinking, she gave me a homework assignment to try to figure out where it comes from. I have a thought. I wonder if those of us who were raised like really traditional and churchy, really religious ways, what if our imposter syndrome comes from that? What if our imposter syndrome, or my imposter syndrome, comes from church? Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying it comes from God, because I know how people are going to be, and God wouldn't do that. That's not what I'm saying. I don't believe it comes from God, not at all. But the system. Let me tell you why I say this. Outside of TikTok, I work as a vocal coach. Most people don't know that because I don't talk about that here, but I've been doing that full time for a very long time. And my siblings and I, it's 4 of us, we used to sing in church. I have been singing how unworthy I am for over 30 years. I have been singing about how unworthy I am my entire life. I have been singing about how I don't deserve this and I don't deserve that my entire life. I've been taught to be afraid of money. I'm not your average vocal coach. I teach the spiritual side of the voice, how what we say and sing, how it manifests. So I'm like, man, my entire life, I have been singing these affirmations to myself unknowingly my entire life, singing how I wasn't good enough. I wasn't worthy. I did not deserve this. I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve love. Keep in mind, I didn't say this comes from God, but what if those of us who were raised that way, what if part of our imposter syndrome comes from church? Now I look back at my life and I'm like, wow, I affirmed all of this. It's not going to be everybody's story. It's not going to be everybody's story, but it is making sense to me. And it was my assignment for my therapist to figure out, where does your imposter syndrome, if you are someone who struggles with that, where did it come from?
Do we need to see that again? Do we need to see that again? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Shout out to the person that just followed. I appreciate you. I thought y'all were gonna leave me alone. Let me know if we need to see it again. You want to see it again? All right, let's go. This is talking about imposter syndrome, okay? And this young lady is a vocal coach, and she's talking about how she believes it comes and stems from church.
All right, so I have a theory. My therapist mentioned to me, well, she brought it to my attention that I have imposter syndrome, right? And I started thinking, she gave me a homework assignment to try to figure out where it comes from. I have a thought. I wonder if those of us who were raised like really traditional and churchy, really religious ways, what if our imposter syndrome comes from that? What if our imposter syndrome, or my imposter syndrome, comes from church? Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying it comes from God, because I know how people are going to be, and God wouldn't do that. That's not what I'm saying. I don't believe it comes from God, not at all. But the system. Let me tell you why I say this. Outside of TikTok, I work as a vocal coach. Most people don't know that because I don't talk about that here, but I've been doing that full time for a very long time. And my siblings and I, it's 4 of us, we used to sing in church. I have been singing how unworthy I am for over 30 years. I have been singing about how unworthy I am my entire life. I have been singing about how I don't deserve this and I don't deserve that my entire life. I've been taught to be afraid of money. I'm not your average vocal coach. I teach the spiritual side of the voice, how what we say and sing, how it manifests. So I'm like, man, my entire life, I have been singing these affirmations to myself unknowingly my entire life, singing how I wasn't good enough. I wasn't worthy. I did not deserve this. I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve love. Keep in mind, I didn't say this comes from God, but what if those of us who were raised that way, what if part of our imposter syndrome comes from church? Now I look back at my life and I'm like, wow, I affirmed all of this. It's not going to be everybody's story. It's not going to be everybody's story, but it is making sense to me. And it was my assignment for my therapist to figure out, where does your imposter syndrome, if you are someone who struggles with that, where did it come from?
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, imposter syndrome. A condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success or internally, okay? And I wrote down when she said that she has been singing about how unworthy she is for 30 years, right? Says, what type of gospel song? I don't know. And here's the thing. I don't think that people really understand, like, when you're talking about the cross and we're talking about salvation, it's like you're always, I go back to my earlier video. Just go back to my, I don't want to break it down right now, but I talked about it earlier today in my earlier video. It's like we're always searching for this unattainable, this grace or this worthiness that we don't see that is attainable, right? And so imagine if, or let's say, we're talking about people that, we're talking about sin, right? And so if you do something, oh my gosh, oh, what's going to happen to me? It's like you can't do anything, right? Because you're always wondering about when you're going to hell. That's really what happens. Or if you're good enough for this or good enough for that. It's a whole conversation. And I'm going to be honest with you. Well, I felt it the first time that I saw it. I did. I wrote down a note. I said, let's imagine for once that we stop singing songs or stop having the belief system that we are unworthy, or we are not good enough, or we are subjecting ourselves to a different level of whatever we have going on in our lives. Just imagine that for a second, where we would be. There would be no use for people to be in the church full time, because we're no longer trying to strive for this level of perfection that is unattainable, because we're never going to be perfect. Although it says we're going to be, that at one point we'll be like him. So this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm getting to the point right now. And I think that it is because of y'all think the Senior Saints for this, by the way. They sponsored tonight's broadcast. The Senior Saints. I love S.Y. Younger. I love S.Y. Younger. Okay? I love that man of God. Now, he can preach. He speaks my language. S.Y. Younger preaches. He speaks my language. I really enjoy listening to him preach. Not all the time, but a lot of sermons. He puts out a lot of content, and he travels a lot. I think maybe just he got to keep himself together. If he does ministry, then he can keep himself straight. But I'm just saying that it just gets to the point now where and I think the Senior Saints, they sponsored this. They sparked the flame to lit the bomb tonight. They did, because I was like, you know what, Lord, I gotta, unfortunately, I'm used to reading or going in on these bishops, but really it's the Senior Saints today. Because if we continue down this path and they continue to spew what they've been spewing, not even say we're praying for the family, we're praying for Lady Gina, we're praying for those who were in the ministry of higher dimensions. No, they went right into he's a heretic. And the level of disdain, and I heard in one lady's voice yesterday, the midday call. You know who you were during the midday? Somebody, he's a heretic. I said, I want to talk on. I'm gonna get on the line with somebody else. I can't do it. I just can't. I cannot. And I know messed up and didn't even say what I was going to say earlier. But that's it. I just wanted to come on and say that again, my thoughts, my prayers, condolences are to Bishop Pearson's former wife, his two children, the former members of Higher Dimension. Okay, to those people who believe so wholeheartedly in his ministry, even present day. I turned on his YouTube channel last night, I believe it was, and they were streaming last night, and they were talking. And I believe it was the Polk gentleman. And he said how he adopted the gospel of inclusion and how they're going to keep Bishop's legacy alive. And I said, as many years as as they were traveling together and in ministry together, I can only imagine that Bishop Pearson feeling, Pastor Polk feeling some type of way, and his mother, who serenade that before he passed away was able to play the piano and to just to give him a selection before he was to transition. That's the kind of love that we should have seen yesterday in the Black Body of Christ. So I went online. Oh, Bishop Jakes did finally put out a message. You gotta give him credit. He did put it out. Juanita Bynum still has not. I don't know why she ain't put nothing out, y'all. She need to get on the line and get herself together. Sure. Give people their flowers and their just due. She still has not said anything about Bishop. Who else? Archbishop. Oh, the Joint College of Bishops have not. They have not. They have not. That is Archbishop Alfred Owens, husband of our dear sister here on Cocktail Hour with Catrice, co-pastor Susie Owens, who thought it not robbery to call me last July. I'm still waiting on that phone call back, woman of God. Please go ahead and call me. You have my number. Archbishop David M. Copeland. I don't even know where he is on the line. I saw a post about him, though, that the people needed to pray for him on November the 5th. Okay? So hopefully he is in good standing. He's the chairman of the Joint College of Bishops, so hopefully he is doing well. God don't like ugly. Okay? It was reported to me yesterday that part of what the people were trying to do about what Bishop Pearson is. They were trying to get him out. They could have restored him. They could have restored him. And I was so happy to talk to the last person about it. Although they did say he was a heretic, she made a great point. She said they could have easily restored him. They could have easily taken the time out, but because of jealousy and flesh and ego, they chose not to. That's what the people told me. So sad. Absolutely distasteful. It's sad, sickening. And because of that, now the Joint College of Bishops has a stain on them. I will be trying my best. Maybe I shouldn't say this publicly. I'm considering attending the Joint College of Bishops annual Congress in March. If you are on the line, if you've worked for the, look, hit me up in the DM, okay? Joint College of Bishops. I would like to come to the conference, okay? I'm not coming for the whole thing. I will come just to go to the evening service. I think that's on a Tuesday. I went down and I looked at their, and I went and I'm online, baby. I'm online. I went and I looked at the itinerary. Okay. Oh, also, here's something real funny. Y'all, let's talk about it real quick and then I'm gonna get off the line. For their annual, let me text her back and say I'm on the phone. Hey, I'm on YouTube. Hey, I'm online right now. Okay. All right. So my friend and I went looking at the Joint College of Bishops website. And I said, let's just go through and see what the people giving for the conference. He said, I'm glad you're talking about I'm not offended. Oh, honey, you're not offended by what? He would have stayed. Yeah, they could have said so. Okay, so here is the registration type. This, I have never seen a level of foolishness in my life. Joint College of Bishops, y'all are out of control. What y'all doing over there? Who is in charge of the website? Let's go through. Shout out to my street committee. They sent me the Joint College of Bishops landing page. And the registration information is as follows. The Joint College of Bishops, the End Time Body of Christ 2024 Congress will be on March the 12th through the 15th. Okay. And personal information. This is where I was confused. Oh, Lord. What is she talking about? This is where I was confused, y'all. If you go to the website, it's just this part right here that got to me. And you click registration type. You can select the following prompts. Bishop, which you should be because it's a joint college anyway. Freshman bishop. What the heck is that? Is that a new bishop? Who is making up these titles? Overseer. I don't know why they don't have apostle on here. They have everything else on here. They should have the fivefold on here, if you ask me. But anyway, they have bishop, freshman bishop, overseer, pastor, adjutant general, chief adjutant. What the heck is that? Adjutant. Helpmeet. Vendor exhibitor. Let me read it again so y'all can understand the level of foolishness this is. And I'm calling y'all like, y'all look stupid. Bishop. This is the registration type. Go to the top of the page. Bishop. Freshman bishop. Overseer. Pastor. Adjutant general. Okay. Then they have the chief adjutant. adjutant, helpmeet, vendor, exhibitor. I said, you know what? They want me to cuss. That's it. I said, the people have officially asked me to cuss on the line. The Joint College of Bishop has a prompt that says helpmeet. So does that mean that the bishops are not the husband of one wife? I'm confused. Where is wife? You want to put helpmeet because some of the bishops ain't married and they out here shucking and jiving. That's what's going on. They think we're stupid. Helpmeet. I said, if y'all don't go sit yourselves all the way down. Freshman bishop. Adjutant general. Chief adjutant. Adjutant. Helpmeet. Vendor exhibitor. I said it's official. The men of God have gone crazy. Because ain't nobody did that but the men of God. Nobody did that but the men of God. I promise you. I promise you that. The men of God. The what is it? The freshman bishops did not do this. They're too fresh in the game. The pastors might have had a little hand in it. This was the bishops and the overseers that did this. Oh, we need to make sure that we have the helpmeets included in the registration. I'm officially done. Stick a fork in me, beloved. There's nothing left. There's absolutely nothing left. The helpmeets are invited to the Joint College of Bishops. The helpmeet. I said, hold on. All they need to do is change that EE to an EAT, and that's what they're going to have at night. Helpmeet. Yes, the Hey Chef Don. Let's read it again. This again is for the End Time Body of Christ, the annual 2024 Congress for the Joint College of African American Pentecostal Bishops. This is foolishness. The prompts read as follow. First of all, the first one is blank. So maybe they'll. I did not get past the first. So I said, I'm not registering for this foolishness. If I go, they're going to see me walk into that service. Praise God. Praise the Lord. Point me to the direction of Bishop Alfred Owens and co-pastors. I want to talk to co-pastors. We have unfinished business. The woman of God got her hind parts on her bike last year when she dialed my number. And then when I called her back, she didn't answer the phone. I messaged her on the Facebook. She didn't answer. The prompts are as follows. Bishop, freshman bishop, overseer, pastor, adjutant general, chief adjutant. Adjutant. I'm like, just put down adjutant, yeah. They need a title too, though, so whatever. Helpmeet, vendor, exhibitor. I said, baby, the Joint College of Bishops. And now I see y'all didn't want Bishop Pearson on the line, honey, because he knew that y'all was stupid. He knew y'all was stupid. Y'all sound dumb. I'm so over these people. I'm so over them. No, I mean, don't even show the love of Christ at all. Don't even show an ounce of Jesus. Not even one little smidget of an ounce. Not one. But yet you want to tell somebody what they should and should not do. The devil's a lie. Where's that one bishop? If you missed my broadcast from last week, I told y'all that the bishop, there's a bishop. I don't think he's preaching anymore, because the man of God, he was actually one of the, and I know his name. I'm not gonna tell. Oh my God, I just found out yesterday, and I googled him today. I said, "Ooh, you was real cute, huh?" We're gonna call him. Not gonna do it. Bishop from the West Coast that was on the board, looking a whole hot mess, by the way. Bishop sits up there with the rest of the Joint College of Bishops, and he's going off. People say he was jealous. Oh, I can see it. Because Bishop Pearson, listen, even in his letter, the mind of God was fine. If he would have came over, listen, don't ask me no questions. Okay, I know what he believed in, honey, but the mind of God is fine. And I do listen. I don't discriminate. I love an older man. Okay? Don't ask me no questions. Mind your business. So, just joking. So, this particular mind of God sat up there. He was, oh, he's this, he's that. Oh, get him out of here. Voted him out of the Joint College of Bishops, out the boys' club. The bishop gets back home, have several meetings. Shortly thereafter, he gets caught in women's clothes. Do not worry about the speck in my eye. Worry about your own. We have a saying in Baltimore, worry about yourn, that is so ghetto. Worry about yourn. Worry about your own. The man of God got caught up in women's clothes. Had to sit down after publicly denouncing Bishop Carlton Pearson. Now, how that work? How that work, baby? So would you just conveniently slipped into something more comfortable? After you came back from Ohio, decided to lounge around and parlay a little piece? You want to feel sexy? I ain't knocking it. Listen, I'm not a judge. But it's funny to me that you can sit up here and you can denounce the mind of God the way that you have done, but then you get caught up over here. Very interesting to me. Very interesting to me. Very interesting. Very interesting to me. You get caught up, want to slip into something a little bit more comfortable. So you decided to just put on a little lingerie. After you go and make a public mockery because this man of God was caught up. And I agree with the last person I talked to. Yeah, he got caught in his emotions. I do agree with that. Probably was just so heartfelt about all the different people that were hurting and harming and all these different things. And he just wanted to make it, just wanted to give somebody some hope. And but you shunned him because you were jealous. Because he was a good-looking man. And the women loved him. What the people told me, the women of God loved him, appreciated him. Okay? And so with that being said, what better way than to just go ahead and say, you know what? We're going to get you up out of here. Jealousy. And then you get back to your church. That's like the one in another state. I got a call about that particular bishop. I'm waiting. I've known about this for about 2 months. I am waiting, beloved, for the pictures about this bishop. Oh, I'm waiting. Mind of God got caught up being chased around the office in women's clothes. This is a whole other bishop. whole nother bishop got caught up being chased around his office in women's clothes. But yet and still, they walk around and they judge so many people. And they had the audacity to sit in the pulpit as I close and talk about how a woman of God should adorn herself to get a husband. Honey, I don't want it. If y'all out here shucking the diamond like this, you out here shucking the diamond like this, Bishop? Chat, what you say? You have officially lost your mind. You have lost it. You want me to put it with that guy going on? Mm-mm. The devil is a lie. Now, if you come into the relationship and you want to have a conversation, that's different. But if you want to hide this alternative lifestyle, sir, that does not work for me. The women that got out here being tricked, stop being tricked by these men. I'd rather y'all go to the United House of Prayer. At least you know you're gonna get a real man. You're gonna get a man. I don't say a real man, but you're gonna get a man. Because they full of them over there. That church has men. Okay? They have the men of God are present in the United House of Prayer. They're the cult. Okay? But they're there. They love Jesus and they love daddy. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good example. Okay? But anyway, y'all, I think I'm done for tonight. I think I'm done fussing. I'm asking you all that if something like this happens again, and you all do not agree with something, and I was really excited. I was really excited to talk about the bishop's accomplishments. You all could read, go to Facebook. Actually, I could put it down in the chat real quick. The link of his former wife. She posted a beautiful. She posted a beautiful tribute to the bishop. Beautiful tribute. Actually, let me go ahead and share her link. Beautiful tribute to the bishop. She honored the man of God. She's been honoring him before he closed his eyes. And I just put it in the chat. She honored him before he closed his eyes, and she's honoring him to this day. Present moment, she's still honoring Bishop Carlton Pearson. Yeah, check out that tribute. I forgot what I was going to say. I've been fussing too much. Oh, but if something like this happens again, let me go back. I really was excited about paying homage to Bishop from what I know of him. And he probably would not have said it as harsh as me. That's why he was him and I am me. And I'm always going to give it to y'all straight, no chaser. I need the senior saints to be a little bit more conscious about how they handle people from now on. Those people who are, who may not be where you are. Okay? I'm not like everybody else. I'm not going to just feed into a narrative because that's what other people think that I should do. That's not, I've never been that way. And if you all think that that's who I am, I think today was your day of reckoning with me. Because it's not. It actually made me look at the people of God sideways. I was hurt. Very hurt. The man of God wasn't even in the grave for 24 hours. I'm sorry, wasn't even deceased. Lord, he ain't even been buried yet. He was not even cold yet. And the people of God decided they wanted to just, you know what he was. If it makes you feel better. Then show me who you were, though. If it makes you feel better. I love love. I love to love people to life. That's just me. That's just me. I love to love people to life. I don't like loving people to death. I love people to life. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect because I'm not, far from that, child. Far from it. I'm honest. I got a lot of kinks, a lot of things, and I think folks say that I'm immature. And baby, come on. I can't be wise and immature at the same time. Y'all gotta pick a struggle. Pick a struggle, any struggle. But don't choose that one. That don't make no sense. Anyway, y'all, I love you guys. I gotta go. Grab something to eat. I hope that you all have an amazing evening. If something now, I might have to come back live one day this week because I might do Thanksgiving actually. Kiara shared, and her husband Jordan Kelly welcomed their baby girl, and then it is Tony Gaskins. Okay, I don't know if you all know, he is a relationship well, I'm going to say expert. People call him a guru. I don't like that word. But Tony Gaskins is a relationship expert on social media. Very popular man. He just sits in front of his phone. He tells people like it is. He is a Christian, devout, go hard Christian, but he has been making some waves within the manosphere, so to speak. Okay, he has been going on the Harley Initiated podcast, and he has been shaking the table. And I have been watching, and I said, "Oh, you need to relax." He probably won't, but anyway. So I might come back live and talk about him in that situation, him, Ace Metaphor, and the cussing pastor. He has rubbed the both of them the wrong way that last week. And then a couple other things we'll talk about. But anyway, I love you guys. Y'all be good. Listen, I'm gonna just go ahead and log off from here and love on somebody today, right? Love them in the right way. Don't get caught up in my commentary no more. Be y'all tail.